Team captain, leading stroke, Lizzie Dye. Petty officer, Legal Nurse, Sarah Yules. Squad captain, Petty officer, Survival Equipment Technician, Lou Evans Hughes. Leading Legal Nurse, Marie Turner. Flight captain, Medical Assistant, Hetty Tinsdale. Lieutenant Commander, Keanu Cox. Midshipman, Emily Fitzner. AB Gunner, Ellie Stanley Roberts. Engineering Technician, Weapons Engineer, Ellie Freimel. Leading Engineer Technician, Hannah Cayley. Lieutenant Paige Gillen. Commander Linda Kearney from the Navy as head coach. Staff Sergeant Masters from the Army.
Introducing the Royal Air Force team, the captain for today, Flight Lieutenant Francesco Kettle. Flight Lieutenant Robert Price. Flight Captain Corporal Evan Shedman. Corporal Liberty Weddle. Line Officer Master Boundy. Air Commander Dan Cortez. Corporal Anna Long. Flight Officer Charlotte Brooker. AS2, Mason McCuskey. Flight Attendant Rebecca Cameron. And AS1 Lynn Tower. And your first Jules Lady.
Your umpires are Dr. Emma Isaac Siskin, Beth Latham, and reserve umpire Caroline Kavanagh. Please be upstanding for the national anthem. Team captains, please step forward for the toss.
Have a good day, ladies. Portsmouth again for day 2 of the Inter-Services Netball Championships, and today we see the hosts, the Royal Navy, up against the RAF, who of course played the Army in the first game yesterday and lost by quite a heavy deficit. It was 57-17 to the Army, but it'll be up to the Navy today to put on a show in front of a home crowd as they take on the Light Blues. But let's have a quick look at the game from yesterday. As I said, it was a win for the Army in their first outing, but you know, the RAF put up a battle. So here are the highlights from yesterday's game. as I was saying, we are here for day 2 of the Inter-Services Netball 2025. It will be the host, the Royal Navy, up against the Royal Air Force, who lost their game against the Army yesterday, so won the privilege of playing today. The Army get a rest day, and they will be up against the Royal Navy tomorrow. But I'm delighted. Yesterday we were joined by Hetty Tinsdale and Ruby Turner, who are both playing for the Open team today, and I'm glad to bring back an old face, an old friend of 2025. You're taking over the commentary gig for us. Anna Mulderrick is back again. Of course, she joined us for the British Army's game against Malawi at the end of January. And Anna, you enjoyed it so much. I couldn't contain you. You wanted to be back on for all 3 games, but thank you for being
I thought it was the other way around. I thought you wanted me back.
Well, I mean, it was. I asked Sam for any options, and she sent me your picture, and I was like, well, I think we're sold on here. But I am really glad. I mean, we've actually got Hetty Tinsdale's parents sitting next to me and grandparents sitting next to us today, and they were saying how much she enjoyed it last year. She came back and did this year. I'm glad that you guys enjoy this, because I don't want it to be something that someone has to do as, you know, as part of your. So yeah, unless you're lying to me, I do think you do enjoy it, and you got a hat for it. So
I do enjoy it. Yeah, and I'm doing it this time on the grounds that I get a polo shirt.
I know, yeah. Sarah, our director, is in charge of those. She's listening. So any spare polo shirts or hoodies, Anna Mulderrick would like one. We're going to we'll go through the teams. We'll have to go through the teams quickly. Let's do the Royal Navy first, just because they're hosting. I'm going to run down from goalkeeper with the starting 7. We've got Louise Evans-Hughes, who is the squad captain. Goal defence, Hetty Tinsdale. We've mentioned her already. She was on comms yesterday. Wing defence, Kiani Cox. Centre, it's Ellie Stanley-Roberts. Wing attack, Emily Finister. Goal attack, Lizzie Down, who of course is the Open captain, and the goal shooter is Sarah Yules. Ellie Brightwell, Hannah Cayley, Paige Gillam and Ruby Turner on the bench. Any of those names jump out at you, Anna, that you know you're aware of, have heard of, have seen play, and you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Goal defence, wing defence, both Hetty and Kiani, they are and will be, no doubt, a formidable pair, especially with the coaching that I'm sure they will have been receiving this season.
And Kiani's been away last year. She's been away and had a baby. So to come back after, you know, it's never easy. And she looks, you know, fit as a fiddle and back to sort of fighting fit, although she doesn't think so. But yeah, I do remember from 2 years ago being a standout player for the Royal Navy. And Ellie Stanley-Roberts as well, very fast in the middle or wherever she plays as well, I think is another name from the Royal Navy that will stand out. RAF, we have goalkeeper Emmy Jakeman. Of course, these girls all played yesterday as well. Goal defence, Charlotte Brooker. Wing defence, Olivia Towie. Centre, we've got Libby Weddell. Wing attack, Hannah Knock. Goal attack, the captain, Francesca Kennard-Kettle. And goal shooter Sam Cortis. A few changes in the lineup from the starting 7 that played yesterday, but everyone in that team got a run out. On the bench, we've got Maeva Makutu, Rebecca Cameron, Laura Price and Martha Boundy. And watching the game yesterday, Anna, the Army were very strong, and I know, you know, you're not pretending to be neutral in that fact, but the RAF had real patches of brilliance, and you sort of think if they can, there's a lot of new faces in that side, if they can build on what they did yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an RAF squad that I don't really recognise. They brought a lot of physicality to yesterday's game, a lot of determination. They're going to go out and really want to bring it to the Royal Navy today. And I was particularly impressed with their mid-court players yesterday. Yes. I thought they controlled the game nicely.
Especially when you compare them against the likes of Sally Fisher in the Army Centre, Rachel Rogers, who is just, you know, I hope she doesn't take it the wrong way, but a real bunny rabbit. She just doesn't stop, does she? And like you said, the mid-court battles were amazing yesterday and really told the difference. But the Army then with the win yesterday, that means they will play the Royal Navy to try and defend their title in the Open Championship. Now, Anna, I know you're here as part of the Masters setup. The scores we've had today in the development, the Army have now won that competition by beating the Navy 57-21 earlier today. And in the Masters, it was tell me about what a tight game. Listen to this for a scoreline: Army 32, RAF 33, and it was like that throughout. I know, difficult for you being on the losing end of that, but what a match to watch.
And I think that is the best the Masters competition has ever been for as long as I've been around anyway. And disappointed, yes, but super proud of the squad. I mean, the end of the first quarter was 10-11, and to go into the last quarter, I think 6 goals down, and the Army showed real grit and determination to try and come back right until the final whistle. But fair play to the RAF.
And that's what's really important about this inter-services tournament throughout the years. You know, we've done it for 3 years live now, but we've always covered it. And actually, because you've got the open team, you've got the masters team, you've got the development, and actually there's no age range in that. It just depends where you're at in your netball career, and you know, it's not like the development is you can only play up to 25. You know, it's just it's basically a development team. It's exactly that. It's feeding the open team. And the masters team, like you say, can have some absolute stormers in there.
I mean, for my centre court starting centre wing attack today, I've never played open or dev. This is their first ever inter-services. They've just come out, shown how coachable they can be. You can teach, what's that saying? Teach an old dog new tricks?
Yes. I'm sure they won't thank you for saying that. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Hannah and Kate. No, they're brilliant players, and it's exciting that masters can still bring out the and it might be for several different reasons why they've never played open or dev, work commitments, family commitments, or whatever. So it's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously there's one game remaining tomorrow, which the Army will be playing the Navy. So I guess, you know, you guys will be looking to be resilient in that and come back and end on a win, I suppose.
Yeah, come back stronger, faster, better tomorrow.
Absolutely. So that's the development, the masters, and also another game to mention was the men. The Army versus the RAF played last night. The Army won that 31-22, and men's netball is really up and coming, not only in the military world but in the civilian world. And I know that we've been asked many times whether we'll do the men's game live, and we said, well, look, you know, we want to give the women some breathing space because it's such a predominantly strong women's sport. But once the Navy can produce a team and we have a full inter-services, it's certainly a question that we'd like to do. But the men's game teaches, it's slightly different, isn't it? As it will be. It's not. The men will play it and approach it slightly differently. But actually, the women learn a lot and the men learn a lot by playing with the women.
Yeah, and it's a slightly different as a coach perspective with the men. You grow up, or we've grown up as women playing netball and learning the physicality, whereas the men already have the physicality. Right. And now, as a coach, you need to teach them the strategy, the technical, the know-how of the game, as well, alongside teaching them the specific kind of skills to develop.
So giving them the intelligence on top of the ball in a way.
It's a different challenge as a coach, but it's one that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, and you're involved in the men's setup or the mixed setup?
Yeah, so I'm coaching the men's and the mix, sort of. We're figuring it all out still, yeah. But I will certainly be a part of that coaching team ahead of going into our national season.
Well, that's definitely something we need to look at. But for now, it's all about the open competition in this inter-services netball. And like I say, this is day 2 of this competition, and we're at the Ravelin Sports Centre opposite HMS Temerare, so the home of Royal Navy Sport, but a really brand spanking new facility here. And you know, thanks to the University of Portsmouth for letting us use this facility. As the teams, I'm going to leave you as they introduce themselves onto the court. This is the starting 7s for the Royal Navy. And the starting 7s for the Royal Air Force. So it is a Royal Navy first centre pass, and that is Ellie Stanley-Roberts, who's a real standout player for the Royal Navy, Anna. And how do you see, I said to the girls yesterday, there's always a first sort of nervy 5 minutes where they're getting a feel of each other. So how do you see this game going?
Honestly, I can't call it. I wasn't here last year. I've not seen anything of the Navy, and I've been focused on coaching the Masters. But as you say, those first few minutes of every game at Inter-Services is nervy. There will be mistakes. You've got to go with it, accept that those mistakes are going to be made, and then it's how you react.
Where the RAF really excelled yesterday, and I know that you mentioned as well, was mid-court, and they had to rely, because they were playing such a strong Army side with limbs all over the place, they had to rely on a lot of like short passes, but they did that really well, and I can see already today that just seems to be their game plan.
Yeah, and they've got to keep that patience and that discipline in attack, and eventually something will open up in their shooting circle, and that's a lovely take from the RAF goalkeeper.
Emmy Jakeman is something else, I have to say. She's a revelation, plays with the men and mix as well, so I think gets a lot of skills. That's what we're talking about, those transferable skills where you learn from playing with a different sex.
Yeah, now you've said that, I do recognise her. I think we've had some fixtures against the team that civilian club that she plays for.
Yeah, Sam Courtis then for the RAF. And there's one goal on the board for the host, the Navy, but Sam following that up for the Royal Air Force. And it's back to the Navy for another centre pass. We've got some very vociferous light blue fans in front of us. Yeah, Sarah Ewell's there in the goal shooter position. I mean, Emmy Jakeman's got her. She had a work cut out yesterday against Ellie Noelle, and now she's got a work cut out against Sarah Ewell's as well.
She does indeed, but I do think Navy need to watch that feed, because she is going to get closer and closer, and the interceptions are going to start coming, and she'll start putting doubt in the feeder's mind as this game progresses, I think.
That's the thing, isn't it? First 5 minutes, just feeling each other out and seeing what shots they rely on. Courtis again then for the Royal Air Force, and that is 2-2, so neck and neck so far, but it's early days.
RAF straight away, they are trying to apply some good pressure onto that centre pass. Good arms over everywhere, really tight man-on defensive unit, making the Navy work hard to find a shooting opportunity.
Oh, lovely hands from Lizzie Down there.
And Lizzie Down's an experienced player herself. Yeah. She's played at UK Armed Forces for many years.
She's captaining the Open team this year, so good to see. And I know, you know, that captaincy and responsibility changes hands quite a bit, because it depends on people's circumstances and work over the year. But Navy been caught a couple of times for you know, small mistakes like footwork, so I have to watch that.
And it's those unforced errors that I said about, and the unforced errors that unfortunately I think lost us our game for the Masters in the game previously. You've really got to cut them down as best you can and stay disciplined.
Talking of battles in the circle, Hetty Tinsdale and Sam Courtis, I joked yesterday about it not being a non-contact game, because there's so much contact off the ball, isn't there, to get positioning, and Sam and Hetty already.
It just shows that level of want and determination to get that ball.
Well, it's unfortunate. I think there's a little tip there from the Royal Air Force, so they've got it back in possession. Brooker to Towie, who had a fantastic game yesterday.
RAF is showing good patience again in that attacking end, eventually finding a shooting opportunity.
And Tinsdale just
unfortunate miss.
Yeah, I love the determination on even marking that back line pass as well. Is great determination from the Royal Air Force. And it's Louise Evans-Hughes there in the goalkeeper position for the Royal Navy.
That's nice through court. Oh, eat my own words again there. But that was a nice through court attack from the defence, bringing it up. Just unfortunately not able to execute that final pass to the top of the circle.
Tinsley then to Stanley Roberts.
Get some width.
Yeah, you don't want to see it go down one line, do you?
No, it's important to try and keep that balance across the court, just opening up different channels. It turns defenders' heads and creates something. Navy have got a bit of the momentum at the minute. See if they can carry this forward.
So yeah, the Navy have opened up a tiny little gap. They are 4-2 up. And as Anna will tell you from experience today, that means nothing. 1 or 2 goal gap is nothing in netball.
Well, it's amazing once you turn over ball. There's an error, as we've just seen now, in attacking contact. RAF can take this to goal. That's 1 goal down. It's then their centre pass, and we're looking at a draw potentially, and you're straight back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, we love the dynamism of this game, and this is exactly why it's usually pretty high scoring, as we saw yesterday, and all the scores have been between, you know, the 30s and the 50s. Weddle then to her captain, Kennard Kettle.
Just needs to take a breath on that shot.
Yeah, in fact, yesterday, one of the things the
it.
girls said, oh, lovely from Quartus.
But her goal shooter shows her how's it done.
Yeah. Like you said, got a bit of lift on it. Perfect.
But their RAF goal attack, she's a key playmaker. You see the amount of passes that she does take outside of the circle as well. Clearly their goal shooter is the stronger shooting-wise, but the goal attack is the key playmaker there. That makes a big difference. Yeah,
that was noted yesterday. Her and Olivia Towie, who's playing wing attack today, just constantly looking for that second pass every single time. Good pressure again on the centre pass. Yeah, you're right. Jakeman's getting closer and closer on that one. There can be an over-reliance, can't there, when you've got a very tall goal shooter or goal attack to use that over pass. But any good goalkeeper is going to figure it out eventually.
Yeah, and it's just how Navy work through that, if it does happen, how they combat that and how they change up the attack to swing the defender's head and open something else up. But that's where the experience of Lizzie will come in as the goal attack to draw the defender one way or another.
Yeah. Sarah Yules then for the Royal Navy. And they are now 6-4 up. But yes, I can see this remaining pretty tight throughout. Finister back to Cox.
Lovely top of the circle drive there from the wing attack. And that's where this error starts to come with the feed, rushing that pass in.
Yes.
The goal shooter had no space on that behind her. She was right on the back line and just couldn't keep control of the ball.
Kennard Kessel again, and yeah, as captain, she's in a good position to control things from there.
Smart play there, using the centre on the other side of the court just to swing the ball.
And Quartus called up. Bit over-eager on her defence there. Replay, unfortunately.
Really good defensive pressure from the RAF attack there.
Yeah, when you start to see a team throw big, large, long passes, you know, you're worried that the panic might have set in. Lovely from Cox, really strong.
A really key turnover there from Kiani.
So Lizzie Down has played in the midfield as well, is that right? I think over the years I think she's played in the midfield anyway. I think last year. Sorry,
mid-court.
What did I say? Midfield.
Midfield.
Oh dear. She's correcting my mistakes already.
Here we go again.
I mean midcourt.
Yes, she has, because she's a smart player. So she's
wherever she is, she's just useful.
Yeah, she's got good game sense.
Yeah.
Looks like Navy is trying to set up a 3 over there, just trying to completely shut down the RAF centre pass by creating a wall of Navy players.
Okay. Wow. Ooh. Oh.
Just, put in a lateral pass there. Give your attack chance to set up.
Wow.
She is having a great game. She's hunting every ball, Kiani.
Yeah, she is. She's quite a slight thing. Wow, she's got a lot of physical strength.
She's got power.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's certainly not a wing defence I miss playing against.
Okay. Good arms there from Tinsdale on the line and down. Lovely quick ball from down. And Sarah Yules converts. And 8-4 gap open up. Navy against the RAF. And there's a lot of home support here, but there's also a lot of RAF support. So,
oh, an unforced error there from the Navy wing attack, just breaking, giving RAF another chance to close the gap down that's starting to open up. Just needs to put a little bit of lift on that ball into the goal shooter there from the wing attack.
yeah, I mean, some of these passes are bullets, aren't they? I think it's hard to appreciate how hard they're coming at them. Tinsdale and Cox in the middle.
And their Navy defence do bring the ball through to attack beautifully.
Libby Weddle, who was playing, I think, wing defence yesterday, had a really, really great game. Playing at centre today for the RAF, or at least for this first quarter. Sarah Yules with another one. That's 9-4 to the Royal Navy.
Hetty just really shut. Wait, yeah, I think Hetty completely shut down the shooting option there for the RAF. Again, forcing the error.
Miss there from that's Navy ball on the back line. That's actually being brought on.
And you see how Liz there just runs that front, which opens up the back space nicely. And the wing attack's able then to just pop it straight into the goal shooter.
So every move is thought out.
Lovely quick feed.
Great. Sarah Yules making a massive difference there for the Royal Navy, and they've now breached the 10-point mark, 10-goal mark. It's now 11-4 to the Royal Navy.
Yeah, they've really got the momentum at the minute in this game. RAF, they need to do something different. They need to react. They need to change the momentum.
Will there be any hangover from yesterday? I mean, it's pretty much the same team that have been put out today. You know, I mean, you lot are so fit. One game a day isn't so bad, but it is an extra advantage for the Army to have that rest day, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure there will be some sore bodies out there today, but once the whistle goes for the start of the game, you soon forget that,
yeah,
and your focus becomes on winning ball and playing the game.
Yeah, I love how competitive this competition is. Weddle there just playing safe and back to the middle court, but well defended by the Navy.
Good patience from the RAF this time.
Oh, lovely for quarters. I tell you what, when she's on fire, they're clean every single time, those goals.
When we give the RAF give their shooter an opportunity, her stats are good. She's sinking them.
Yeah. And yeah, having a very physical battle there in the shooting circle. You can see that. I mean,
and it's really nice to see how much the RAF goal attack. She is looking to play her goal shooter into the game and create opportunities for the goal shooter. And that's two on the bounce, I think, for RAF there.
Yeah, 11-6 to the Royal Navy. The other thing there that I noticed that Francesca Kennard-Kettle did, the RAF goal attack, is she had such faith in Sam getting the goal in that she backed off in case she needed an extra pass, but she didn't feel she had to hang under the goal in case she didn't, for a rebound. So, showing faith in her goal shooter and her team.
And those connections will have been built over this training season as well, that confidence in each other.
And the Navy get one back, so that should read 12-6, yes. Just ticked over, down to Stanley Roberts.
That's a lovely feed from, lovely drive to the edge of the circle and feed into the shooter from the Navy centre.
And we did.
There she goes again.
Yeah, they're getting great turnover on that centre pass. Oh, unlucky from Weddle. Cox then for the Royal Navy, but that is the first quarter done and dusted. And the Royal Navy lead 13-6. Anna, just a quick summation on what you've seen there in the first 15 minutes.
I think a very physical game from both sides. RAF, they're still in this. They'll keep their heads up and they'll keep coming back and they'll keep fighting. They now just need to react to this Navy defence.
We spoke briefly at the beginning about the battle that's going to and has developed over with Emmy Jakeman and Sarah Yules in the goalkeeper positions. Emmy Jakeman yesterday had an amazing game against one of the best players out there, which is Ellie Nweli, but she's got a different beast in Sarah Yules. It's a different height difference and stuff like that, and that's going to be a key battle to watch.
Yeah, entirely different gameplay between Ellie and the Navy goal shooter. What might be interesting to see is if actually Emma Jakeman comes out at goal defence.
Right, yeah.
That would be an interesting, and then she's able to be off the player to then read the feed coming in and go for those interceptions from a different angle.
Okay, we shall see how that battle develops. We're just going to have a quick break here, but do join us for the second quarter of this Royal Navy versus RAF Open Championship in the Inter-Services Championships 2025. We'll see you in a bit.
Towards the near post, he's heading on, and he's to the back of the net.
That's a great save around the goalkeeper. Ball comes in. It is a leveller.
And it's a goal! 2-1 Navy!
It's a goal, John.
Yes, so welcome back to Portsmouth. We're at the Ravelin Sports Centre, opposite the home of Royal Navy Sport, HMS Temeraire. So 3 years now we've been doing this Inter-Services Championship live. First year we covered was in RAF Cosford, and last year we were in Aldershot, and now we've done the full circle, and we're down at the home of Royal Navy Sport, as mentioned, and we're doing that competition this year. Needless to say, we are committed for life. And Anna Mulderig is also now committed to BFBS for life.
Of course.
I've got a contract here for you. We'll sign it afterwards.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we, heading into this, I know, Anna, you're obviously largely involved in, and we wanted neutral commentary on this, but it's amazing how much you've learned about these players just in the first 15 minutes. Players that you haven't seen before, and you're already learning, about them already.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here if the RAF, what they're going to do to try and create some more shooting opportunities for their goal shooter. And actually, I sense that they are going to start turning more ball over.
Yep.
They've just got to now convert it. But it'll be interesting to see with the injection of Maeva.
Maeva Makutu, yes, playing in centre now. And
she had a brilliant game yesterday.
She really did. And I think that's so Martha Boundy's come in at goal shooter for Sam Cortis on the RAF side, and Martha made a real impression yesterday, and actually it was the same sort of time that they swapped over. So a couple of changes for the RAF. The Royal Navy are unchanged as yet. So Hannah Knox stays at wing defence, and Jakeman, yes.
Here the turnovers start coming that we were anticipating.
And that's exactly the battle we were talking about just before quarter time. And Jakeman, she's funny. She's talking to her team. They obviously discussed that at that quarter time, her battle with Sarah Yules, and she's sort of saying, yeah, I got that one right. So,
and it can be so demoralising as a keeper when you're up against such a tall, strong goal shooter. And she's keeping her head up, she's keeping going, she's keeping challenging for that ball, which is great to see. And she's starting to get rewarded for her hard work. So
Martha Boundy for the RAF to bring them within half now, so 14-7 to the Royal Navy. And yes, the RAF, Anna and I were talking about the fact that really 7 goals, 6 goals isn't a lot in netball at all. 1 and 2 is pretty much nothing. That can change very quickly. So the Royal Air Force definitely not down and out here. They will have full confidence in themselves on coming back to equal footing with the Royal Navy. Brooker, she's been brilliant at the tips today. Charlotte Brooker for the Royal Air Force. Oh,
let's just see if they can convert this now, because the Royal Navy will be expecting this from the RAF. They won't underestimate them.
Yeah.
Equally, they'll be desperate to try and solidify their lead and start to pull away in this quarter. So it's up to the RAF to try and counter that and prevent that from happening.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunate for the RAF. Another fairly basic mistake there. So Royal Navy back in the hands of Cox, Stanley Roberts.
And those mistakes are so frustrating. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, she will be frustrated at herself, no doubt. But you just can't afford to let them happen.
And we saw a situation in yesterday's game, and I know that some new rules have been put in place in netball across the board, and one of them is the if you've been penalised too many times for the same thing, they'll bring the players forward. They'll give them like 4 meters or something like that.
They'll advance the penalty.
Yeah,
if it's perceived as being either deliberate, dangerous play or persistent, there will be a verbal warning and an advancement of the penalty, which can then progress into a caution and a 2-minute sin bin, which we have seen in this tournament already.
Yes. So the Royal Navy hosting this year's tournament, and they are 16-8 up in this Open Championship, and they've won the ball back, and the RAF will be kicking themselves for
an attacking contact there against Maeva, which is
Lizzie down again. Great feed into Yules.
That quick release of that ball as well just gave Jakeman didn't have a chance to set herself up there.
It's like a Lizzie Down speciality. We used to, in lacrosse, we call it a quick stick. I don't know what you call it in netball, but yeah, the quick release is just, she knows exactly where her players are.
And it's the way where she takes the ball is the same point as where she will release the ball.
Right, yeah.
So there's no delay.
Yeah. Maeva Makutu then for the Royal Air Force, and they are 8-18 down currently. And it's funny because they, apart from a few silly mistakes, they haven't actually, they've certainly not played badly.
RAF really need to get some whip here. You just see how the Navy defence just completely condensed them into that middle channel, and nobody was pulling out wide.
So Navy ball, Louise Evans-Hughes to Cox.
Good rebound position there.
Great rebound from Jakeman.
You've just got to have that discipline there to send a lateral ball. She needed an easy forward option just to control having taken a really strong rebound.
Hetty Tinsdale and Ruby Turner were on comms yesterday, and at the end of the game I heard them say, I'm actually quite scared, and I don't know if that was the Army or the RAF that they knew they had to face, because it was such a tough physical game, as you said yesterday, but definitely doing themselves a lot of favours here at the moment. The Navy ahead 18-8.
I think that year on year the open competition is just becoming more and more unpredictable.
Right.
Because the competition is just getting better and better and better, and we don't know what each service is going to bring and what young talent they're going to have coming through.
I mean, we spoke a lot about the Army yesterday because of their win in this Open. But one day, Ellie even said in her post-match interview that one day she'll have to retire. But it's good that she's got the likes of Izzy O'Malley, who played yesterday, Katie Hawkins, these new faces who come through for the Army, and so I don't know that Dee and Ellie, should they ever retire, will actually, they will be missed, obviously, because of the flair and everything, but there's so much strength and depth in Army netball, and seemingly so in RAF and Navy, because the RAF particularly is all new faces to me this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the girls that are on court today, this being their first into services, in 2-3 years' time, we'll be talking about what a formidable player they are and, and how they're holding together the RAF or Navy attack, just like we do with Ellie and Dee.
Yeah. No, it'll be lovely to see. I mean, I hope I'm still employed in 10 years' time, and I'll be able to reflect on that.
I'm not allowing Ellie and Dee to retire. They're coming to Masters.
Well, I did. Well, that's the thing. I did think when she said it, I was like, I don't believe you. You know, I'll see it believe it when I see it, sort of thing. So the Navy have breached 20 points. Goals, I should say, not points. Our cameraman called them baskets earlier, if that's, so that's worse than me calling it midfield.
Has he still got a job?
He's standing right next to you. He's allowed, he just has to film well, so he doesn't need all the information to hand. Oh, well,
that was a good
by
screen.
Lizzie. Yeah.
Well, it was the shooter actually set up a screen there for Lizzie, so it looked like it was going to
Sarah, but came over.
But actually, she was protecting the space for Lizzie behind her.
I mean, it's so fast, I'm not reading it well enough, really.
It's all right, that's why you got me.
Yeah, exactly. expert coach next to me. Oh, just too far there for Yules, but she's got it back in. Brilliant play by the Royal Navy.
As the Navy start to pull away, they're perhaps getting a little bit sloppy and not quite as clinical as they were at the start because of the lead that they've got. They just need to keep hold of that discipline and make sure on the execution of that final pass into their shooter and goal attack. Because never underestimate the ability of a team to come back, right? And that was a lovely feed from Maver.
Oh, Martha Boundy, so reliable. Yes, if the...
well read there from Kiani. And another good pick
So strong again.
And then look at that control and calmness. She's she's used all of that power, all of that speed to make two pickups, one that led into a turnover, and then she takes a breath and has a condor moment, puts in a lateral pass.
I mean, I think a couple of years ago she was either squad captain or team captain, but she definitely can command the game from the back there, can't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's one of those people making wing defence an incredible position, because a lot of people say it's like the forgotten position.
It's the unsung hero. Yeah,
but she really is making her.
She demonstrates the impact a good wing defence can have on a netball game.
Yeah. The Navy then 23 to the good, and the RAF with 9 at the moment.
Let's try and get ourselves back into the game here from the RAF.
It's a penalty against Cox, so it'll be Hannah Knock with the ball for the RAF. Oh no, sorry, Charlie Booker's taking it instead. Oh, lovely hands from Tinsdale.
They're doing a lot of positional switches, the goalkeeper, goal defence.
Okay.
There, so Hattie, you're seeing, is actually picking up the goal shooter a lot more, and the keeper's watching the movements of the goal attack and how she's entering the circle.
And I assume that's because there's so much going on. Are they talking about that on court, or have they discussed it previously? Is it a plan that they would have discussed at quarter time?
I imagine that it'll be a combination of some direction from the coach and a bit of figuring out on the court what's working best, and communication between the goalkeeper, goal defence that's having such a good effect.
The RAF then slowing things down, keeping it calm. And they'll need to do that to bring back this deficit. Oh, that was unfortunate, because Boundy had loads of space, but slightly misdirected ball.
And I think that's where as well, I think perhaps Francesca can look to actually use the outlet players on the edge of the circle and play herself in a little bit more into the game, because Navy goalkeeper, goal defence are now doubling on that shooter, because Francesca's not, like, they figured out that she's not the key shooter, when actually she can put a shot up, she can play herself into the game, and have that confidence to do that on the court now.
The Navy, a lovely clean ball from Lizzie Down. That gives them 24 goals to the RAF's 9. Down to, oh, lovely from Jakeman. She's so athletic.
Such great elevation.
Oh, but the, oh dear. Yule's getting a real basher, like a real beating there at goal shooter. She's having to work for it, but reliable, 99% reliable on those goals. So a quarter century for the Royal Navy.
And it is, and I think you know, after the just to touch on our Masters game today, what we missed in our game was that holding goal shooter, that beacon, to be able to have a look down court and just to see that there she is. It's something that we missed out on court today. So the Navy are really utilising her to the best of her ability.
Lizzie Down again. I'm learning, you know, from what you're saying as well, Anna, when she hangs off a bit, so that because Sarah's being double marked.
Yeah, she tends to hang wide, and then on the last second, she's often then punching through, and she's either drawing the defence onto her, which opens up Sarah at the back, or she's able to get the ball and do a quick release pass straight into Sarah.
Oh, Rules again.
Looking to have another reset. They're trying to be patient here with the ball. That's what we want to see, a bit of pace in the ball, increase the speed of the ball, make the ball do the work for you. Well deserved
Well
conversion there.
Mark the boundary, so that's 10 for the RAF, but the Navy well ahead at the moment with 27. Emily Finister there, a wing attack. And I remember that face from last year. Jakeman is also a netball coach and umpire, so she's got all strings. So she shouldn't, you know, realistically make any mistakes, shouldn't she, as an umpire?
Well, you need to get into the commentary box now as well.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
She's a commentator too.
Full combo there.
I think what the RAF need to try and do a little bit more is actually their goal defence, Charlotte Brooker, just dropping onto that goal shooter a little bit more.
Yep.
Because Lizzie does play such a wide game outside of the circle, which
She's
is what
done it
they've
now.
done. They've done now.
I think they can hear you, Anna.
They must be able to. And then
and the
Jakeman's timing
come
of
out.
which then Jakeman then has gone and picked up the goal attack, Lizzie.
Defence called up there, so Lizzie Down has a shot at goal. And Yules takes the rebound. So another one for the Royal Navy. They're encroaching on 30 there.
And that's the other great thing about Sarah Yules at the back there, her rebound position, which gives Lizzie more confidence to put ball up to post, knowing that Yules is at the back there, ready to take any rebounds.
RAF ball then, so Kennel Kettle looking for support. Cox and she's won it. Cox little fist bump there, because at the end of as we reach half time, although the Navy didn't get to use that was a penalty won by Kiani Cox. So the Royal Navy are flying here at the moment. They are 29 to the RAF's 11, and I'm not, you know, I think Anna, you know, like you said, it's so unpredictable, this tournament. There's always new faces coming in, and going on paper, the Navy lost both their games in the Open Championship last year, but wow, they have turned things around with a couple of new faces. But actually that's strongly the team that they put out last year, and they're really putting on. I mean, 29-11 at half time. I'm not saying they can't come back, the RAF, but that's a pretty strong half from the senior service. It
is, absolutely, but I do really want to see the RAF get themselves back into this game, and just start trying to chip away at that scoreline a little bit more, because they've got the ability to do so. They've got the talent, and they now just need to execute on court and just be a bit more clinical in their attack. Okay, so let's see what the RAF can produce in the second half, up against a strong Navy side who are 29-11 up. But for now, we're going to take a little break, and let's take a look at what's going on around the Forces sport with Anne, in case you missed it.
Hi, I'm Kyle Dixon, and this is In Case You Missed It. Things are heating up at the Army Boxing Inter-Unit Championships. We now know our final four, as 2 Para will take on the Fusiliers and 2 Rifles clash with 2 Royal Anglian in the semi-finals. The final will be an exciting Forces Fight Night on the 8th of May. A pair of Army shooters are celebrating national success after title wins at the British Open Air Gun Championships. Sapper Amelia Faulkner won the women's 10-metre air pistol event, while craftsman Morgan Baker won gold in the air rifle competition. There was also a silver medal for Corporal Stephen Mitchell in the men's air rifle event. RAF Rugby Union star Amy Cockayne has been named in the England training squad for the Women's Six Nations. Cockayne is expected to make the final cut and compete at her 6th Six Nations tournament. She helped England to win the trophy in all 5 previous call-ups from 2020 to 2024. The schedule for the 2025 Inter-Services Ice Hockey Championships have been announced, and the Royal Navy Destroyers will take on the British Army Blades in the opening match of the men's tournament on the 2nd of June. The winner of that faces the RAF Aces in the final on the 5th of June, while the women's match between the RAF Pumas and the Army Fury takes place on June the 4th.
This is about honing skills in this environment, but it's also about trying out new tactics to ensure the battle group can be effective.
The truth, of course, is that these soldiers are returning to a battlefield that is becoming increasingly difficult for Ukraine.
This is about international integration. It's about relationship building and understanding how our more diverse platforms can operate together.
Could the next war be won by artificial intelligence? And is Britain ready for the fight?
This is Vahana, one of 35 now in operation right across the Royal Navy.
Twin jet, very, very manoeuvrable.
The troops have been rehearsing what is effectively a grand performance to show off their newfound skills to an audience of VIPs.
This is where you would essentially work when they come to play. So the door shuts and then they're in their element.
Their mission was to help maintain and improve the animal enclosures across the park.
We've been laying all of this. We've helped redo a couple of enclosures.
And welcome back to the Ravelin Sports Centre for Inter-Services Netball 2025. I'm joined by the Army's Anna Mull-Derrig. And Anna, well, here we are. It's half time. It's 29-11 to the Royal Navy, the hosts. I'm guessing the Army girls are here watching and learning a lot from their opposition, which is the Royal Navy tomorrow. And I'm not at all saying they'll be quaking in their boots, but it is a very rejuvenated Navy side. From what I've seen over the last couple of years, this is definitely the strongest I've seen them.
Yeah, no, and the Army girls will be sat in the crowd with their notebooks out, watching their opposition closely, but also looking forward to tomorrow's game. They had a good game yesterday against the RAF, and they'll be looking forward to a slightly stronger competition tomorrow, just based on this scoreline today that I assume the Navy will bring against the Army.
Yeah, and how difficult, I mean, is it difficult if you're that far ahead, which is 18 goals? Is it difficult to maintain that? Does a sense of complacency come in? as we might have sensed at the end of that that first half, or does it give them even more momentum to push forward, or is that just a very individual thing?
I think in this scenario, ahead of tomorrow's game, the Navy will really want to put into practice how they're going to perform against the Army, and they will also want to demonstrate that what a worthy competition that they're going to bring against them tomorrow. So no, I don't think there'll be any relaxing in the Navy team, and the coaches won't allow them to do that either. They'll be demanding more of them and to pull away from the RAF even more than they already have done.
Now, one thing I get all the teams to do involved in the open competition every year is to send in their biogs. Emily Finister, this is actually from last year, so I don't know whether her superstition has changed, but I asked an interesting or funny fact, and she said, I have a superstition that if I don't wear a scrunchie whilst on court, I will play awfully. And I'm just assessing her hair. I mean, I love the hair in netball because someone's in charge of doing French plaits, definitely. But Emily Finister, I think it's a very pulled out scrunchie, but definitely a scrunchie. So she's a wing attack for the Royal Navy.
Oh, I'll have to keep my eye out.
She's got double plaits and then the high ponytail. And yeah, I can't believe I'm talking about hair, but it was, blame Emily. She's the one that's brought that out. And
well, it's an important aspect of playing. For me, I always feel I've got to look good to play good.
Yeah, so
is
that your superstition? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So the Royal Navy then up in this game, and they are 29 goals to the RAF's 11, and it is a Royal Navy centre pass. And currently, I see no changes from the Royal Navy, so they've stayed the same as the first half. And the Royal Air Force, for now, have remained the same as they were at the end of that second quarter. So down to Stanley Roberts, and up to Sarah Ewells. And she gets it on a second attempt, so they've reached 30, the Royal Navy. 30 goals, plays 11. Oh, I thought that was footwork, but it's fine. It's a Royal Navy been penalised. That's a lovely ball to Boundy. And it was a lovely get from Boundy.
Hetty getting a little tip to it, I think, as Francesca released the ball. But she'll have an opportunity to...
She's told Boundy to go for it.
An unfortunate miss there.
Yes, bit of pressure, I think, showing there.
See, that's a lovely through-court attack from the defensive unit there between Kiani and Hetty to bring the court right the way up to the transverse line.
I know you'll tell me if I'm wrong, but Kiani plays as if she's got the whole court to herself. She just looks like she's got so much space.
She's got so much
space. She creates
it. She does, yeah. And that's... Hetty also plays very similar to that, so they're creating space for each other on the court, and they, like you say, they open so much out, and they just bring it down calmly, so the attack don't feel under so much pressure then to feed the circle.
Absolutely. And Brooker there penalised, so the Navy with a free throw into goal. Lovely block there from Ewells, so Lizzie Down had an easy path to goal. Another goal for the senior service, of course, for the host this year. Playing down at the Ravelin Sports Centre in Portsmouth, and the RAF have another chance, and they really need to make the most of these chances, Anna.
Yeah, just get some width again. We're all down, stuck straight down that middle channel, and then we've just allowed the Hetty to come through and pick up ball, because it's obvious where the ball's going to go because they've got no width on the court, so it's going to go down the middle.
And that can be if they're feeling slightly pressured, they're sort of reverting back to type, which is that straight line ball. But
yeah, and really they need to use that reset option. Look, we're all getting so narrow in the attacking third. If that's all you can see in front of you, take a second, turn around, send it back, get some width, open something up and go again.
And in that time, the Royal Navy have put another 2 in, so they lead 34-11.
Off-balance feed there from RAF for defence, goes straight into the hands of the Navy goalkeeper. Nice baseline drive there from Lizzie.
So So Jakeman rebound, puts possession back with the RAF. Stanley Roberts, just so much power as well, actually, for the Royal Navy.
Yeah, the Royal Navy centre, she does a very good job both in attack and defence. Often you see a centre that is one more or the other.
Right.
Whereas as this centre to me is demonstrating that she's equally powerful and strong in both the attack and the defensive end.
And Ellie was, I think, a new face for the Royal Navy in the last couple of years, and I love this. Her favourite sports person is her mum, Lisa Stanley Craig, who also I think is quite a big name in netball. She's from Sunderland, Ellie, and a true Mackham, and she admires her mum. That's nice to see. She went to her first netball game at 2 days old.
Oh, wow.
I think because her mum was either playing or coaching, so
I'm sure she's got a proud mum watching at home.
In fact, they came down for the tournament last year, I think, in Aldershot. And I know that Hetty Tinsdale's parents and grandparents are here watching today, so they'll be really proud of their Hetty, not only on commentary but also on court. And the RAF get one back.
Much better attack from the RAF in a couple of periods of play just then. They're finding a bit more space there, and they're using more of the court, which is opening it up, and they're finding Martha at the back there now.
Yeah,
which is good to see.
But yes, Navy looking very reliable, and we've got a change here. So Emmy Jakeman is going off, and
are we going to see her go to goal defence? Oh, this excites me.
Oh, okay. So as you predicted, Jakeman coming in at goal defence, Brooker going off, and it is.
See, their wing attack there. She just needs to wait and allow the goal attack Francesca to run the front of that circle, which will draw the defenders that are doubling on the goal shooter off the goal shooter at the back, and then she can release the ball into the shooter end. Whereas they're trying to give it when there's still 2 defenders on them.
Okay. Yeah, so just the slower ball, just sort of having
wait for the draw.
Yeah,
wait for a second option to come through.
And it's I think it's Laura Price who's come on for the Royal Air Force, with Emmy Jakeman moving to goal defence and Laura Price there in goalkeeper's position, and she's won the ball. And the rolling subs has made such a massive difference to netball, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The ability to do what they did just there and react to the moment rather than wait till a quarter or half time. Lovely take from
lovely
Boundy.
Vision.
Very much
so.
Playing into space.
It's a good change of change of direction there from the RAF attack, which ended them finding that position on the edge of the circle.
Oh, it's already making a difference, that switch at goalkeeper goal defence.
Yeah, absolutely. There a bit of a fumble there with her footwork.
Unfortunately, yes.
They seem to be finding a bit more space when their defence are attacking and bringing it through court. But now, as you said about the rolling subs, I will say, as much as I love the rolling subs, it adds a new dynamic to the game. It really gives you a headache as a coach.
Really?
I'm constantly thinking, right, what can I do? Am I making too many changes? Have I made enough changes?
But surely part of your reaction is natural. So you as a coach, you can't really make a mistake. If you want to try something, you need to try it.
And actually, you're right. You've got to go with your instinct.
Yeah.
Because you can make a change. In the men's match yesterday, I pulled the goal shooter up, had a 1-minute conversation with him, and then put him straight back on. So
yeah,
it does give you more flexibility as well.
But you just don't sleep well at night.
No. I've not slept for 3 days.
All the constant changes. Well, there you go. There's an insight into a netball coach for you.
Lovely hold there from Lizzie, just preventing the goal, protecting the space again, setting up a screen for Sarah behind her.
Absolutely. So 39 to the Navy, 14 to the RAF. Makutu with a Royal Air Force centre pass, and she's struggling there to find any personnel with the Navy's.
Lovely drive there through the middle from Francesca. And
great
vision.
Great ball.
That was really nice patient play from the attack there, from the RAF.
And like you say, Francesca had, there was so much space in the circle because she wasn't in there, bringing the defence with her.
Oh, an attacking penalty there. Well played. Air Force just really drawing that contact, but just
I was about to say it's so nice to see Jakeman in mid-court, and then unfortunately, but the RAF have won it back with some footwork.
That second hesitation where she didn't release the ball and then released it on the second just allowed Kiani to come and get front and win that ball.
Yeah, another physical battle between Kiani and Weddle, who's...
Lovely piece of play there from Maven Francesca. Oh, just not quite able to connect though on
unlucky. Kiani there slowing it down again. Could have taken an easy pass to Stanley Roberts, but decided to take a bit of pace off the game.
Well, yeah, I think we're just at that part of the game now, which happens almost every time I watch a game of netball. In the middle of the third quarter, it starts to get a little bit hectic and a little bit scrappy out there.
Right,
and we just need a couple of those key players, the leaders on the court, to just calm it down again.
Is that just that it feels like they're going through a gear change, like having a word with themselves and saying, we can win it from here, or we can lose it from here?
I think it's probably also a combination of tiredness coming in a little bit, where it's not quite close enough to the end that you've got those that adrenaline will keep you going, but you've also been out on the court for a long enough time that the errors is going to start to creep in because you're starting to tire. That was a lovely finding the backspace there from Ellie.
Yeah, and that gives the Navy 41 goals now to 15. The score in yesterday's game was 57-17 to the Army, so already in the third quarter we're looking like that could be overtaken as the Navy chalk up another one. That's 42-15.
And
sorry, Anna, go.
This really excites me for tomorrow and what the Navy and Army game's gonna bring. Obviously,
with your neutral head on.
Yeah, but there's nothing more than watching a game of netball that's goal for goal up until the final whistle.
Well, you've already had to endure that today. So
watching the Navy today has given me the sense that that's exactly what we're going to see tomorrow.
Fantastic. Well, that's what we hope for, is that the final game is going to be the final game. But let's not write off the Royal Air Force just yet, because
just need to take the pace. Well done. They've just taken the pace out of it a little bit there from winning that lovely turnover.
20 minutes of play still to go, and Martha Boundy in for the Royal Air Force, so they go to 16. And yes, the Royal Navy not made any changes, and I think, do you think part of that is to just not concerned, but they're like, well, this is working, why would you change it, even if tiredness is setting in?
I mean, it may be that they're just trying to really solidify this squad ahead of tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
It might be that they've got a secret weapon on the bench that they don't want the Army to see. I'm unsure. They might be lacking in depth a little bit.
Okay.
But it's clear to see that the 7 that are on court at the minute are
doing the job.
Are doing their jobs. Yeah.
Libby slightly offside there for the Royal Air Force, but it creates a pause in a game, which sometimes is an advantage for players.
Yeah, it just allows her own defenders to
take a breath.
Yeah.
Laura Price then on the back line for the Royal Air Force to Hannah Knock.
Yeah, someone needs to get some width. We're so narrow down this, this one
narrow
channel,
and that happens. Yeah.
Exactly. They just need to throw in a lateral ball there. But
there needs to be someone lateral.
Well,
there was no one.
found herself coming down this this third line as well, when actually she needed to be the one to go out and get the width to then come and cut back in when she's needed for the lateral.
To be fair to Weddle, she was trying to give width, but sometimes your view is a bit sort of narrowed as well.
Yeah, tunnel vision. I say
tunnel
that
absolutely.
to the girls all the time. When we make mistakes when we get tunnel vision.
Well, you revert back to how you learned or how you played as a schoolgirl, you know, where
look forward first. If you don't have that forward option, that's when we've got to open it up and see what's going on left and right of us.
As Sarah Yules has another attempt for the Royal Navy, which takes them to 43. Now, I'm one of those players, not that I play a very good level, but I'm one of those players who started in attack, and I've gone down now to goal defence. As I get older, I seem to go further and further back. But I'm really enjoying the art of perfecting, or at least, you know, working on my defensive skills. And one thing that I'm really enjoying about it is being the back pass. You know, being that I'm always yelling, I'm here, and it's such a nice safety pass. I mean, obviously I just want to be involved, but the amount of times people don't use it, and I'm like, that's such a silly pass, like, I was right here.
Yeah.
You've only got 3 seconds, you know.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I know what it's like to occasionally play in wing defence myself, and I'm desperate for the ball, just pass it back to me, please.
Yeah, come on.
But equally, I've also been in a position where I'm the centre or wing attack, and I can hear, and I'm like, if I don't pass that wing defence the ball,
Oh, really?
she's going to knock me out. She wants it.
So you've met like for like on the
yes.
court. A little discussion here going on between the two captains. Sorry, I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
It looks like there's perhaps some damage to the court that they just need to sort out. So they just let the umpires will just be letting the captains know that's what they're taking the pools to do.
So actually, it's good for the girls to get together and have a little chat as the clock is stopped. We've got 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in this quarter. As Anna and I were reminiscing about our playing days, but
I'm still playing. So about you.
I'm playing. It's just I'm not playing a very good level. But yes, some tape being applied to the court. Will that be enough? I mean, I hope they haven't taken a chunk out of the wood, but it might be a little splinter or something that's causing a few issues.
Yeah, not quite sure. It looks like it's perhaps some, you know, where someone's used to put badminton courts in or something, and I think it's just that whatever covers it has just come loose a little bit. So hopefully a little bit of tape will sort it out.
Absolutely. I mean, on a court that's marked by about 7 different sports, it's not going to make much difference. A little bit more tape, but yes, little hiatus here in the game, and we have very experienced umpires here, so they'll know what to do in any situation. Of course, you've got a table of umpires and scorers here, and then obviously two court umpires, which is a real privilege for these women to play for. So back underway, and it's an RAF centre. So Maeve McCooty then with a long ball to Martha Boundy.
Vision again.
Lovely vision. Yeah.
She when Maeve connects with their goal shooter Martha, it's really lovely. She's got great vision and a great feed on her.
Great take from Ellie, one-handed take from Stanley Roberts.
Great challenge.
Oh, sorry, Price, not Jakeman. Of course, she's moved to goal defence.
You're just so used to saying Jakeman.
I know. Jakeman again, Jakeman again. But it is disturbing how I'll remember these names for about 3 days, and then next year I'll be like, oh, were they playing last year? So yeah, that's my memory at play. Oh, it's over a third.
Good defensive pressure there from the RAF attack, forcing the error over a third there, so they'll have another go to create a shooting opportunity.
Yeah, Kenal Kettle.
Just good choice to do the reset. Stay out of there. You see the wing attack then coming through the middle as the goal attack's coming through the middle. But what's nice is that Martha has that discipline to actually everyone's coming at me and sucking people into the middle.
Yep.
I'm going to have a look what's going on behind at the goal shooter. Or they didn't quite connect on that second attempt.
I mean, I think Martha again got, sorry, not Martha, Maeve got a bit caught up with the speed of the game and went for the quick pass, and it wasn't quite the right pass, but lovely intercept.
Jakeman again.
That was Jakeman again. If man or woman of the match was voted by the amount of times I said their name, then Jakeman probably gets it. Boundy then for the RAF, and
just take a bit of time on that shot.
Definitely needed a breath on that shot.
Yeah.
She had plenty of time. So that is the end of the third quarter. We're racing through this match. the Royal Navy are 43 goals to the RAF's 18, and very much in the ascendancy here on their home court. Just 15 minutes to go. Is that a scoreline that the RAF can pull back? I know you want to see it, Anna, but really now it's looking out of reach for the Light Blues.
Yeah, it's out of reach, but they will still want to come back on the court in the final quarter and demonstrate what talented players they are, because they do have some lovely moments of play in both the attack and the defence. Defence are getting some excellent turnovers, and when the attack find the width, find the depth, balance the court, and connect with the goal shooter Martha at the back, it's also really, really lovely. And don't forget, these players, a lot of them may well be wanting to be selected for the UK Armed Forces, so they're still going to want to demonstrate their talents in the final quarter, this being the RAF's last chance to be seen.
Yeah, and you know what? There is no doubt that there's not one person on that court that isn't putting in 100%, and glad that Anna Mulderry continues to put in 100% on commentary. Thank you very much to you. We've just got one quarter left. We'll just take a little quick break here so we can have a bit of a breather, and we'll come back for the very exciting final 15 minutes of this second match, Royal Navy against Royal Air Force.
This is about honing skills in this environment, but it's also about trying out new tactics to ensure the battle group can be effective.
The truth, of course, is that these soldiers are returning to a battlefield that is becoming increasingly difficult for Ukraine.
This is about international integration. It's about relationship building and understanding how our more diverse platforms can operate together.
This is Vahana, one of 35 now in operation right across the Royal Navy.
The troops have been rehearsing to show off their newfound skills to an audience of VIPs.
Their mission was to help maintain and improve the animal enclosures across the park.
Towards the near post, he's headed on, and he's to the back of the net.
That's a great save around the goalkeeper. Ball comes in. It is a leveller.
And it's a goal! 2-1 Navy!
It's a goal, John.
Oh, sorry, just catching up there with Anna about her contract and pay negotiations and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not quite happy yet still.
Gosh, she's a hard taskmaster, this one. But I tell you what, we've got an exciting 15 minutes remaining in this Royal Navy versus RAF and the second match of the Inter-Services Netball Championships. And at the moment, it looks like they're setting up for the final match, which will be tomorrow, Royal Navy against Army. Of course, the Army beating the RAF yesterday. So as the tournament has panned out, it has panned out that the final match will be the deciding one if the RAF cannot pull it back. And it looks unlikely from 43-18 down. It does look unlikely, but as Anna mentioned just before quarter time, these girls will continue to put 100% in. And I'm just looking to see if there are any changes at the minute. No, so we've still got Louise Evans-Hughes at goalkeeper, Hetty Tinsdale at goal defence, Kiani Cox at wing defence, Ellie Stanley-Roberts in the middle, Emily Finister, Lizzie Down and Sarah Yule. So the same 7 at the moment for the Royal Navy, and they're sticking with that. A couple of changes with the RAF in the second quarter, but at the moment they're looking like they were just before quarter time. So final 15 minutes, and it is a Royal Navy centre pass. Emily Finister to Tinsdale, to Down, and yeah, every player on this court getting the ball at some point, and the Navy make a positive start to this final quarter. And yeah, the Royal Air Force just need to hold their heads, or keep their heads, I suppose, and hold their heads high as well.
Yeah, they need to enjoy this game in netball as well. Like inter-services is what all of the single services work so hard training and building up, and it's a great competition, and it's one that we all massively look forward to. So yeah. Just enjoy this final 15 minutes of netball.
Royal Navy then with a turnover ball, and they have it back. And that combination in the shooting circle working so well for the senior service. So that's 45 goals for the hosts.
Yeah, it would be interesting to. I wonder what other shooting combinations the Navy have.
Yeah,
because they're really keeping the Army in the dark there.
Well, to be fair, I'm looking at their subs bench: Ruby Turner, Paige Gillam, Hannah Cayley, and Ellie Brightwell. There is not one person in that subs bench who has goal shooter or goal attack next to their name for possible. So it might be that certainly with that shooting circle, that's what they have, and they've just stuck with it. There doesn't seem to be another option.
Yeah, that's
unless
certainly that would certainly be a cause for concern as a coach.
Right. Okay.
But perhaps one of their defenders that's on court is
yes, who could come in as a.
And these girls, goal shooter, goal attack that are on at the minute are playing exceptionally well. My worry would be if one of them were to take an injury.
Absolutely, and it's a physical game, as you said earlier, so very possible.
Yeah, that ball just put slightly too far behind Hetty there, causing her to do an unusual footwork from her.
Oh. Yeah, the RAF will be kicking themselves if they choose to re-watch this. There's quite a few basic handling errors, I think I would call them. And sometimes, over effort can do that, but lovely.
Oh, that's unfortunate there. Unfortunate off the ball contact from the RAF centre. Denied their her own goalkeeper of that lovely interception that she'd made.
So 47-18 to the senior service, the hosts, of course, this year. We are down in Portsmouth. Very misty Portsmouth yesterday, very sunny Portsmouth today, so we're getting all the seasons.
We're talking about that grit and determination here is exactly what I'm seeing from Maeve, the RAF centre. Yes, this game has been lost by the scoreline, we know that. But she's still fighting for every single ball out there, and similar to Ellie, actually, she's pretty exceptional in both her defensive and attacking skills.
Okay.
So actually, a really good match up between these two centres, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, no question that, and she's still smiling as well, Maeve.
Which says she should be. She is having a good game out there.
Yeah, I love. I don't know who that was to, unfortunately.
Bit of confusion there, I think.
Yes. Yeah, this looks very tired at the moment from both sides. To be fair, lots of handling errors and basic errors that they wouldn't expect of themselves, and hands on hips and. Yeah, this has been so tough for both of them.
Yeah, it's perhaps gone a little bit flat, and they just need to pick themselves back up and find that motivation and that second gear and go again.
Yules then with Laura Price trying to, even that looks a bit slow, but Maeve Makutu then against Kiani Cox. And Japeman will take that from mid-court. Oh, unfortunately, yeah.
Right idea.
You just can't, but you just can't
vision.
do that at this stage. Like when you're this far down, play it safe.
Well, I think in some respects, when the score is this far down, then there's
try a bit of
flair.
Try
Some flair.
Fair enough.
Try something different. And actually, I think the pass was on there.
Okay.
I think it was.
There was space.
I think with a bit more elevation, the shooter could have got on the end of that ball.
As the Navy take another step towards 50 goals, they're on 49 and 18 to the Royal Air Force. Lizzie Down, ever reliable.
Price just needs to avoid getting flat. And when I say flat, she loses sight of the player behind her and prevents herself from having the elevation to step back and up to challenge that pass.
There's been a change on the RAF team, Rebecca Cameron's come on at wing defence, and she's a very fiery player when she gets going. So hopefully brings some fresh legs and fresh energy to Royal Air Force. Great pass.
And that's what she tried to do earlier, but this time the shooter's got onto the end of the ball, and that's a great quick release, rocket ball into the shooter.
And Livid Towie penalised, well no, Towie not penalised, Cox penalised on the edge of the D, so Martha Boundy will take it in for a shot on goal.
And that looks like it was an advancement as well against her. Perhaps, I'm not sure, but I think perhaps it was for a deliberate offside or a persistent obstruction on the edge of the circle.
She went for that intercept on the D, I think, and yeah, that was very deliberate. And the Navy with, well, I say easy shot on goal, but Yules takes 2 attempts at it, and they're on 51 to the RAF 19. Like I said, the score in yesterday's game was 57-17 to the Army. So a very similar score coming out of this game as the Royal Navy turn the ball over again.
I have to say, watching this game now as well is making me excited to see the matchup between Kiani and Rachel Rogers tomorrow.
Ooh,
that
fire,
is going to be one to watch.
2 little powerhouses absolutely battling for it. Yeah, that's exciting. Oh, great ball in.
I think another key matchup to keep an eye out for will be Chadders and Sarah at the back there, goalkeeper.
Any matchup with Chadders is going to be something to watch. Oh, lovely from Maeva Makutu. Yeah, Navy can't afford to slacken off at all, but the RAF have found another gear for this final 8 minutes now we've got left in this game.
Great. At that point, they really need the centre wing attack to just a pocket
Go
ball
wide.
to then change the angle of which they're going to pass the ball into the circle.
Yeah. Louise Evans-Hughes. I mean, she's had a fairly quiet game just because she's been at this end, but really like showing her her grit and determination at the moment.
Yeah,
sometimes if you have a quiet game, it's because you've done so well.
Yeah.
You've just quietly got on with your job.
Effective.
Very effective.
And actually, her doing such a good job on the goal shooter is what makes allows Hetty to go out and take those interceptions. So she makes Hetty look even better than Hetty already is. Selfless player.
Oh dear, come on, Light Blues, that was just hasty play, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, exactly, there's just no reason for it, is it?
No, not really.
Frustrated. Just eager to get out and get as many more goals on the board, I suppose, but unnecessary.
Still with 7 minutes, you could put a few goals in that time as the Navy stretched their lead to 53, but the RAF have reached 20, and the RAF support here is still as loud as ever.
Yeah, that's a good hold from Sarah. Just see the hand up, telling her wing attack centre exactly where she wants that ball,
and also using the other arm as a defensive. I know she's not allowed to push her player, but sort of creating space for herself.
And the precision of that pass as well that comes in from the Navy feeders is what they're going to really need tomorrow.
Yeah. Just one step too far there for Lizzie Down.
Yeah, I think that pass was never going to go, really. She had a defender was on her back and was always going to challenge. She even needed to change direction, or actually the feeder needed to hold on to the ball and look for somebody else coming forward.
Great defence work there from Hetty, and it was a Navy backline ball. Got a great tip, but Boundy puts it in for the Royal Air Force. They're on 21.
Ooh. That looked uncomfortable.
Yeah, that did, and she's limping a little bit. Emily Finister going down hard on, I think, her right leg.
Yeah, that's a bit worrying.
Yeah, but she's staying on. She maybe just needs to run it out a little. But yeah, we talked yesterday about knee injuries and ankle injuries in netball.
Yeah, unfortunately, an unavoidable hazard to playing netball.
I know, and it's. I think there are a few skiers amongst this group as well, and skiing and netball probably are the worst when it comes to cruciate ligament injuries. You're either a netballer or a skier.
I am one of those. I'm guilty of both as well. I love my skiing. Still not forgiving you for not taking me to Maribel with you in your suitcase.
I mean,
you promised me
you'd fit in a suitcase.
Live on BFBS.
I could actually fit you in my rucksack, I reckon. I gave you a hat. I mean, you know. We didn't do any lives actually in Maribel this year, but it is a, you know, we have done it before and we're hoping to do it again. So, you know, once that contract's signed,
I'd love to watch.
And you give us a reasonable negotiation on your pay, we'll be able to set it up.
I'll think about it. Right? I'll think about it.
Sarah Yules then again for the Royal Navy. That's 56 to the senior service, 21 to the light blue. And Finister seems to have recovered from any injury she picked up, so it's just a little niggle. And yeah, there's still a huge amount of support here for the Ravelin Sports Centre for both sides. We've even got some pom-poms in the crowd for the Royal Air Force, which is good to see.
Some silly little lowers starting to slip into the Navy's play here, whether it's tiredness or a bit of complacency,
maybe,
or a combination of the both. I'm not sure.
Jakeman loving her time in mid-court. Oh, Boundy, unfortunately, but still RAF ball. Cameron brings it back in. Oh, that wasn't on, really. That wasn't on. So Weddle goes down, but she's okay. And it's Navy ball. Back here in the... Right. So something against Maeva Makutu.
I've not... I wasn't tracking her whether that was persistent or deliberate,
right.
But that's just put her on a warning, so really RAF will be looking to, unfortunately, bring her off and enter in the services tournament, because the next time she gets pulled, she'll be sin-binned for 2 minutes.
Right, and they can't bring on someone else then, so...
Well, the RAF will be left to play with 6 players, yeah.
Which nobody wants.
No.
Oh, Tinsdale, lovely. Reads it so well. So Royal Navy then with the back line, Lizzie Down in possession, a captain of course of this open side. 57 plays 21.
Yeah, see, one of them needed to come front then. They were both offering in the back space, and it just confused then the wing attack, and she didn't have a definite option to release the ball, and got penalised there for a held ball.
So RAF then back in possession, but they've got a long way to go.
Yeah, not a lot of time.
Not a lot of time, just the 2 minutes remaining here in this second match of the inter-services.
I think there's some tired players out there now.
Very tired. 2 games on the bounce.
Yeah, and that's starting to show, I think, in RAF's play a little bit more than it is in the Navy.
But then, of course, that'll be the Navy's position tomorrow as well. So, and as we've said already, the Navy have not changed this 7. And I presume that will be the same. The strongest 7 will be playing tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I imagine that we will see no change to this this starting and finishing 7 in tomorrow's match. And that's what I'm talking about when somebody needs to run the front. Lizzie just demonstrating exactly how to do it.
Yeah, just over a minute here left, and
oh, nice little change direction there from the wing defence. She's come on nicely, the RAF wing defence, injecting a bit of...
Yeah, Rebecca Cameron, yeah, she's a fiery player actually, so she played a very key role in the RAF's game last year.
And again, Lizzie just nicely finding that baseline drive. And that's what the Army will be looking at that and thinking, how are we going to shut that down?
Yeah. And they've actually scored more goals now than the Army did yesterday. They're on 58 to the RAF 22. But yeah, very similar in scoring lineups with just the 30 seconds left here in Portsmouth. British Army tomorrow for the Royal Navy, and as Anna has said, what a lineup and what a match that's going to be. The RAF not able to work wonders this year. But that's the nature of military sport and inter-services netball in particular. You never know what you're going to get every year. And we've only got 3 seconds remaining, so I don't think there's even time for another pass. And that is a win for the Royal Navy, 59-23. And everyone's on their feet for two sides that have absolutely played their hearts out here at Rambling Sports Centre. And as ever, Anna, that scoreline doesn't really tell the full story, but I am really, really, really impressed by the Royal Navy, really impressed by them.
Impressed and slightly nervous.
Yes.
Very, very nervous, but also,
I'm glad you are
also
nervous.
excited to watch the match-up tomorrow.
And who really stood out for you there from both sides? You know, who really made an impact?
I think for me, for Navy, it's got to be Kiani. I think she's such an impactful player. She defends hard and she also brings the ball through into attack. And then for the RAF, I have to say, it's a toss-up between Francesca and Maeve, but I think Maeve might just get the edge there for me. I think she's a really exciting little centre court pocket rocket on the court.
Well, look, Anna, thank you so much for your commentary again. We will be calling on you again, and we will get that contract signed. But, you know, I just need to bring you down, you know, for first level payment, first level negotiations. But thank you to Anna
I'll
Mulderick.
speak to my agent, see what I can do.
It's a tough bargain, this one, yeah. But all the best to Anna and to the Army tomorrow, who will be facing, of course, the Royal Navy in the Open Championships. And I am going to go in hunt of a Royal Navy captain, so if you can just stay with me, I'm going to change microphones. So thank you to Anna. I'm going to work my way down here with Lewis. A bit of a grid walk, we thought we'd try this as we work down. Of course, a very disappointed side, I'm sure, from the RAF, but a very excited. And we had been told that the Royal Navy had it in them, and they've certainly shown that this time. An absolutely fantastic performance by the senior service, and I'm going to go and see if I can grab Captain Lizzie down. As the players all congratulate each other. Hetty's got one of you, both of you. Okay, so we are with Hetty Tinsdale, vice captain, and Lizzie Down, captain of a very, very successful Navy team. Wow, girls, you've certainly put yourselves on the map. What a match-up tomorrow's game is going to be. But first of all, let's talk about today's and how pleased you are with what an amazing scoreline, Lizzie.
Oh, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Wasn't expecting that kind of scoreline, but yeah, we'll take that. Really, really happy with that. A great performance from the team, 100% effort all round. Oh, I'm a bit shocked.
I'm glad you're shocked, but you know, you kept the same 7 all the way through. I know you don't have other shooters on the bench, but Hetty, how hard is that to do the full hours work there?
It's a lot because you can't come off really, like you just got to keep grafting and keep working. But I think all of us know that every single one of those 7 on the court is going to give their 100% and is not going to stop until, we're just going to keep going, and that's what matters. We work for each other.
Now, last year, Lizzie, you know, the Navy lost both their games and the RAF were looking stronger and stronger, and of course the Army generally look pretty good, especially with the players they've got. So what difference have you made? Because you've got the same sort of lineup you had last year. What's happened in this last year that's really brought the game on for you guys?
I just think we've had the same dynamics. I think experience has really helped, that we've just kept pushing along. We've kept our composure throughout, played our game throughout. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, it's just been great. Fab coaching team this year as well, who's like really brought the best out of every single player on that court, and I think that showed today.
Hetty, on commentary yesterday, you said that the Army you were quite scared about facing the Army. After that performance, are you a little less scared because you've seen what you were able to do? How excited are you ahead of tomorrow?
No, definitely. I'm 100% excited, and I think we're going to take it to them tomorrow.
And you've had great crowd support and great to be in great facilities on your home ground as well, Lizzie.
I know, what a phenomenal place to do it as well. Yeah, I really don't know what to say right now. I'm just still buzzing for the win.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we'll speak to you tomorrow. Good luck, and what a game that is going to be. The Army will be taking on the Royal Navy for Inter-Services Glory tomorrow here at the Ravelin Sports Centre in Portsmouth. Please do join us again then at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Towards the near post, he's headed on, and he's to the back of the net.
That's a great save around the goalkeeper. Ball comes in. It is a leveller.
And it's a goal! 2-1 Navy!
It's a goal, John.